Good morning. Hello, my very dearest students. How are you all? Today, I will discuss in detail about condensation and evaporation. And this video lesson will be helping you in understanding the fundamentals of these physical processes. And today's lesson will be very worthful and helping in writing or selecting the correct answers from the question from your final paper. So here we begin with the name of God. First we will discuss a very simple definition of process evaporation. As it is mentioned that it is a process. Now you must be thinking, which process? Yes, you are very right that this is a physical change. This process is physical because it can be reverted back by reverting the conditions or by changing the conditions. Okay, so evaporation is the process by which liquid changes into gas phase or vapor phase, but lower than its boiling point. Now this is our routine experiment or practice that whenever we heat water on the stove, we provide flame or heat energy, the water gets warmer, and it doesn't get warmer only, the quantity of water is reducing all the time, and a time comes when all the water has gone into air. So this is the behavior of all liquids, that whenever they are heated or they absorb energy. So this is something very important, that evaporation is the absorption of energy. So when water particles absorb energy, they escape from liquid phase into gaseous phase, into its vapor phase, and we say that water is evaporating. Now we see there's so many kinds of liquids in our use. Sometimes the liquids are aqueous, means containing water in them, like normally we use water in our cooking purposes, drinking purposes, and juice making process, and other medicines have water in them. And sometimes we have very sensitive liquids like ethanol and acetone. Where is ethanol used? Yes, these days the demand of ethanol is as its height, and every country is preparing ethanol for the making of sanitizers. And acetone, which is a constitute of nail polish removers and varnishes. And sometimes we see the liquid is very dense, which resists to flow, just like honey. And sometimes it is not changing, the quantity of liquid is not changing. So how it evaporates and how much it evaporates, it depends only on its boiling point. Now I'm telling you the main reason. The boiling point is the main factor which determines the rate of evaporation. So liquids like ethanol, like acetone, are which having their boiling points just above the room temperature, are said to be volatile liquids. Similarly, acetone is also a volatile liquids because their boiling points are just above the room temperature. For acetone it is 65 degrees Celsius, for ethanol it is 78 degrees Celsius. Now we come to water. The water whose boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius also evaporates very quickly, but the liquids such as oil, whose ranging boiling points above 350 degrees Celsius, they do not evaporate much at lower temperature, and we cannot observe the quantity decrease. Now another question which must be provoking in your mind, that what happens to the particles of the liquid which evaporates? You know, the particles having energy, and suppose if I talk about the particle, this bulk of water, and it is having so many particles in it, and particles having comparable energies. So let's talk about the energy of the surface particles. There are some water molecules having kinetic energy more than average kinetic energy of the remaining particles. So only those particles come on the surface which have enough kinetic energy to escape from the liquid phase. So these particles are having very high ranking kinetic energy than other particles of the bulk. So they escape from the liquid surface into water. So this must be the reason that the exposed lakes or ponds or even the ocean water is also evaporating to a very slow rate, but the liquid water is turning into its vapor. It depends on so many factors, but the main factor is temperature. During summer, we have quick drying of clothes as compared to winters. So this is what the high temperature favors evaporation. Now we come to another very important process, condensation. Condensation is rather you can say reverse of evaporation. During evaporation you get vapors, but in condensation you get liquid water back. So we will write first the definition of condensation, that condensation is the process by which, again the physical process by which a gas changes into a liquid. Yes, the very easy definition. And you see, we see so many examples around us when we put some freezed object or very cool food products on the dining table, the water droplets come on its surface as a dew. Like now these are the vapors, the water vapors in the gaseous state. Whenever they find some cool surface, they turn into liquid. Yes, similarly you can see on the window, similarly when we park a car outside, so on the screen, on the body of the car, we see tiny droplets of water. So these are the condensed water molecules from the air. Now how it happens and what happens to the particles of the gas when it condenses, or what is the necessary condition? You see, this diagram will be explaining you the main reason how it is happening. Like this is a container in which water is boiling, the temperature is shown 100 degrees Celsius. So at its boiling point, the liquid water is turning into its vapor, and when these vapors are rising, finding some cool surface, they start condensing and they turn into liquid. So we're finding the liquid water again. So this is also somewhere mentioned in the water cycle, as you have been studying the same topic. So these liquid water molecules are absorbing energy for turning them into gaseous phase. So evaporation was something which needs energy, and condensation is a process in which the water molecules drop their energy, means the heat energy is given out. The second process, the second very important point of heat energy is given out. Given out by what? Given out by vapors. Okay, so we proceed for the checkpoint. Now these are the questions which will be checking your understanding from the topic. And let me tell you very clearly that I am not teaching you the paper. I am not telling you the paper, and no one can tell you the paper or the pattern of questions. But believe me, when we'll be studying from the past papers, you will come to know that these small points are the scientific reasons which make question in the paper. So it's very important to clear your concept and to just get the facts and get the proper knowledge with examples, so that you will be aware of the type of questions which can be asked in the paper. So I'm leaving you with a hope that this video will be helpful, and not only watching is recommended, just subscribing the channel and pressing the bell icon is also very important for me, because this assures your presence, and this shows your regard and respect for me. So I'm making these videos at home just to help you a happier and understandable chemistry. So read the textbook also, and leave me ijazat dein mujhe. I will come with another topic of sublimation in the next coming hours. Assalamu alaikum and God bless you.